Hello everybody and welcome to the Sauropod Squad. Here on this channel our theme is dinosaurs, but our passion is for a variety of games. Now if that is your vibe, then welcome folks, you have found your herd. I'm chilling out here in the... oh, of course it rains already. Guys, I'm chilling out in our workshop because I've actually done quite a lot of work over between the episodes, and I kind of want to show you what I've got going on here. So if you guys have been watching the last few episodes, you know I've been using these machines a lot. I've been putting in cobblestone and gravel and crushing it with the Create Mod crushers and getting either sand out or just use the gravel, right? I need a lot of gravel too. And then combining the sand and the gravel to make concrete and putting it through the washer to make stuff you see all around me, right? The concrete, white concrete, gray concrete, all this stuff. And so I thought, it's about time we upscale this a little bit. It was taking a little bit too long to run the crusher machine, and so I went ahead and made this little section right here, and down here we've got a little bit of a machine going on. Now, here's the problem, guys. I ran out of stress units. I overstressed this system. My eyes were bigger than my stomach, essentially. I wanted to have 8 lanes, I wanted to have 8 crushers, and I wanted this to just be going like crazy. It's actually a blessing in disguise that I ran into the problem. You'll see here, I can actually show you guys. Let me go grab, I just need a shaft. Where did I put them? Here. So watch this. If I actually connect this section, right, which is going to connect these last 4 here, the whole thing is going to shut down, and it's going to say overstressed. It appears this contraption is overstressed. You need to add more sources, right? I either need to add more water, or cogs or whatever, or slow it down, but I don't really want to slow it down. Now, keep in mind, I'll hop into spectator mode. This whole system, right, is being run by the big water wheel that our buddy Al designed, right? He made this workshop. I've inherited it. you could say, now that he's off the server. But I didn't really know about stress units. I didn't really think about stress units. And so not only is this water contraption running this whole thing, but my kind of dumbass connected it way over here, and it's running our entire cow farm as well as running our farming operation here, which has stopped. Interesting. These are actually fully maxed out chests at this point. We're doing good on the carrots, so I don't really mind that that's stopped. But yeah, we're running the whole system off of just one water wheel section, which isn't going to work going forward. Essentially, I've overstressed the unit. This is obviously huge. It's running a lot. It can handle a lot, but we're just kind of overtaxing it, and so it's a blessing in disguise down here. I do think I am going to actually clean this room up. It's obviously not finished. I was building over the weekend, and then last night I hit that moment where I put that last shaft in there. It shut down the system, and I was like, ew. And I had to learn all about stress units. To YouTube and Google I went, and you can see I actually made engineering goggles. This is something I haven't shown you guys before in this series. This is for the Create mod, and what it basically does is allows me to look at a section here, and you can see that little pop-up. It'll show you the stress units and the stress impact that this specific part of the machine has on the entire thing. And then you can even make like a stress unit gauge essentially and attach it to like the edge, and it'll tell you I just didn't need to make it because I knew I overstressed it. So yeah, I need to clean this room up, and that is one of our tasks today. But you guys clicked on the thumbnail, you know what the video is titled. Today's going to be all about kind of taking a step back and just I'm going to use this week, guys, just to relax and beautify the park, the maintenance section specifically. I want to get a monorail. I want to get some roads up and running. I want to get some trees and some bushes, and I want to clean it up. I want to continue killing all the turtles. It's crazy. I'll do a run right with these turtles, and I'll kill a bunch of them, and then I'll be like, okay, let's AFK overnight to see our food. You know, run the food farm, and then I'll wake up and there'll just be so many new turtles, which is insane. I do also want to give out shout out to Hair Barnes 530. He left a comment that was really, really, really helpful, and he mentioned basically, hey, you're having issues here. I asked it last episode. I said, I think there's an issue with the fact that if one of the wheat goes into one of these cows, right, it'll set up one of these cows to be bred. But that's not going to last forever, and you need 2 cows to be bred. So essentially what I did and what he recommended was to add a little section here with a brass funnel that basically says, hey, wait until there are 60 wheat before any go through. So you can see here I've got 47. It's piling up. And when it hits 60, it's going to go through, and all that 60 is actually going to go to one of these chambers. What that has allowed me to do is actually really see the speed of this machine, and essentially when that 60 goes through, it'll be used, and I watched it, and I learned that that full 60 stack, when that goes here, by the time that gets depleted, this box is back up to 30. So essentially what that means is we need to like quadruple our output of wheat if we want this stuff to run at full speed. However, just doing that little change has fixed it a lot. You can see we've got 3 stacks of meat in here. We've got another 3 stacks in there. At least 4 stacks in there. So yeah, it's going very well, and it's already improved tremendously. But I do think maybe in this episode, depending on how I feel this week, I need to bash this roof out. We need to go higher. We need to get at least 2 more, but I'm thinking I might go 4 because, again, I would love to have just way too much food. And we kind of need 4 wheat to run this whole machine. This machine is overkill, for sure. I think that is a thing I am realizing that I just do in Minecraft, if I'm honest. I think of a machine, and I'm like, let's build that times 4, and then it's just more than we need. But it's fun, and honestly, later down the line when we get even more animals and more dinosaurs in this whole valley, I think it'll be worth it having that much food. So folks, let me hop here into spectator mode again. Let's hide the mini-map here and get a bird's eye view of the park. And let me kind of talk to you guys a little bit of what I have been thinking about. I did a lot of like world designing in my brain, and I kind of want to use this week to kind of get some of those features into the park, and at least at a rudimentary level, at a beginner level. And then down here, we're going to be getting a lot of the park maintenance facility just looking good, right? So I briefly mentioned I want to get that second monorail station. Now, we've got the monorail station. I'll zoom way back over here. We've got this one over here, and for a while I was thinking about mirroring it and just kind of making the exact same design. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, this fits well here because it looks raised. It looks like itself is kind of like a log. It matches the colors, and it fits really good over here in the Redwood Forest and the Jurassic section. But over here is a different vibe, and so I think I'm actually going to kind of make like a really white and silvery building. Honestly, it's going to use very similar color palette to this building and this building because that's kind of on purpose. I want everything over here to be concrete and kind of boring, right? Like the buildings need to be boring in the maintenance area, but the interesting things that we can do around it are trees and bushes and, angles and columns and windows and routes and roads and benches, all that kind of stuff to make it look cool. So we're definitely going to be building a large new monorail station, which is going to be huge because I have actually actively been using the monorail to get back and forth now that I'm spending a lot more time over here to farm the food and to do all the nonsense I've been doing down here. To do all that, I've been spending a lot more time over here, and also now that Alice off the server and this is more 100% my area instead of like a shared area, I'm able to take a little bit more just creative freedom, right? I can just do whatever I want without kind of stepping on his toes. So after the new monorail station, I really want to come through here and design a road. And again, this is going to be using concrete. It's another reason why I've been spending a lot of time making this machine and getting it up and running to run a bunch of gravel. Look at all that gravel. And by the way, that took like 40 minutes to do, whereas the old one to get a full chest that would have taken like 2 hours. So that really sped up the speed, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, we're gonna get a road design going here. And you can already see the pavement, or sorry, the path work that I've done. I want to turn most of that into an actual road. So if you can imagine a road going like this, it does turn up here, but another route goes around here. It's going to loop around the workshop, excuse me, and then send it down this way and kind of go down a little bit here, a hill here to match this, and then turn the corner around here, and we'll kind of just get a big figure 8. So to speak, and that'll allow us to set up for the future when we need to make more buildings with more farms or whatever we decide to build. I've already been thinking that there's quite a few little farms that I would like that I might, kind of implement in this area. But folks, before we get into all of that goodness over in the park maintenance section, you guys suggested more names. So real quick, let's go ahead and get our Dryos names. We had a request to name one Speed after the YouTuber I Show Speed. Ow! Ow, he's hitting me. What? What did I do? What did I do? Eat, sir. Sir, eat. Eat, 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 eat. What? Are you out of food? You're not out of food. Bro, why are you so aggressive? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? No, not okay. Get away. Why is this guy so angry? That is interesting. I've never had a dinosaur attack me unless they were hungry. Do I have my... Let me pull out my Dinopedia for this guy. What is going on? Alright, let's get our Dinopedia out and see if this girl is hungry. I don't even know who it was. I think they ran up here. I'm sure they'll charge me again. Is it you? Are you mad? Did you finally eat? I think it was this guy, but he just finally ate. Yeah. I don't know. That was weird. Why, why they got so aggressive. Come back? You come back for more? You know what? You're gonna be, you're female. Let's give you Jin. Because you know why I like my Jin? Dryo. Solid joke from the comment section there. All right, we've got 3 more. We needed Ashton, a Jean-Claude, and Greg, which was suggested in all caps. So that's what we're gonna get. These are guys, so we're gonna need to find 3 little dudes here for this. All right, here's a pair of dudes. Let's get you to be Ashton, and you're gonna be Jean-Claude, and you, my dude, are gonna be Greg. All right, thanks as always for those Dryo name suggestions. If you got any more, we've got plenty more Dryos, so keep them coming, guys. Also, in this episode, I do want to hatch out a bit more Stegosauruses. I'll be spending a little bit more time in the lab this week. And, yeah, we'll get those guys in. So we've got a few names backed up, like Esmeralda, just off the top of my head, is one that was recommended. So we're going to be getting a lot more Stegos in here and really get this exhibit finished, because it's kind of been lacking the big boys. But I think first things first is I need to catch this monorail and head back over to the park maintenance area. And, I hate doing that on camera. And yeah, once we're there, I think I really need to go dive into that concrete crusher section that I was building again and get rid of all the excess stuff that I had there. We need to trim it down to only have 4 machines. 8 is overkill. So I'm going to make that room look pretty. And then I will show you guys what it looks like. And this, everybody, is what it ended up looking like. Pretty chill, pretty simple. You can see I did delete the excess crushers, and we only have 4. I also made it nice and neat, very simple chest to grab the loot. You can see I've been doing some work, and it's pretty cool because you actually get to see the parts kind of roll by as they flip. They actually do a little bit of a hop. Let's see if I can show you guys. Let's see if I've got, you know what, I can just throw some of that gravel back in. Let's grab, like, I don't know, 3 stacks of that. What's actually pretty fun is you send these through, right? And something I don't think I conveyed exactly well in the first clip when I was talking about this place. When I had 8 conveyor belts, the amount that this was able to output actually is pretty much perfect for just the 4. You can see, if you watch a crusher, one goes in there, and then as soon as it's ready, another one drops in. If I was actually to split this out over 8, the efficiencies of these 4 would slow down. They wouldn't run at max. So really, with one output, it kind of seems like you need to have 4 maximum. So it actually worked out pretty well. But yeah, look at it, does a little bit of a woo, a little bit of a hop, so it's actually kind of fun when I'm standing up here, just kind of checking how the system's going. So I like that, a little Willy Wonky, oh my god, that's a tongue twister. Let me try again. A little Willy Wonka wonkiness. Is what I was trying to say. Say that 5 times fast. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and grab in my building, I've got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I got some floor chairs here. Let's go ahead and just make a little bit of a couch so I can sit down and enjoy the life's work. Okay, well, with this done, my ability to make a lot of concrete is skyrocketing. I actually need more gravel than sand, so I gotta get a bunch more cobblestone going through here. But I've started to... Let's sleep. I started to outline the way I want the road, and it's nothing crazy. It's just using all the colors you've already seen, and you've probably seen this design before in Minecraft. It's like the most simple, basic, like cookie cutter road that you could think of, but I really like it when we get into spectator mode here. And if you imagine this running all the way around like a figure 8, like I mentioned before, it's gonna look really good. You can also see on the mini map it looks really good. So it's simple and it's it's simple. What more can I say? I like it. But what's really cool is I've got these dotted lines. I think I'm gonna make these dotted lines like the main road. I am gonna have to go down in elevation here and maybe extend this pillar. I don't really want to move the monorail. I'd rather just move the road underneath the monorail. So I think I'm going to do that and have the main road kind of come through here right up against the building. We could have some trees and stuff and designs on the side. It'll look really cool. It will be lower, and so I think I am going to have to extend the black foundation of this building just a tad. But I think that's what I want to do over here. I thought for a long time how I could make it turn and squeeze through here, but I think it's just too tight of a turn to look good. So I'd rather just kind of do some work to extend that. And also this pillar right here is kind of in the middle of the road, so I might have to do some weird wonky pillarness. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Also, sir, what are you doing? What are you doing? So guys, I think we're going to cut into a time lapse real quick. I think I'm going to do all of the roads first, and then once I have the road, or at least once I have this road going, then I'm going to come back here and get this monorail station up and running. I've got a pretty cool idea. I want this, basically this wall just to be, this face just to be a wall, and I think that'll be really cool. It's going to be pretty high up, almost about as high as we've got the pillar right there that I was using to get on and off. And it's going to extend to about here. That's what these white pillars have been this whole time. It's kind of the outline of this box. And so we'll have an outline there, and then the way to actually get on here is going to be like a little path that goes through here. And then this path might cut off over there, but essentially it's going to wrap around on this side, and this will be like a way to get up, and then we'll have a big platform up there. So very similar to the other monorail station that we've got way over there in the Jurassic section. That's got a platform on both sides. This one is actually only going to have a platform on one side, and so I'm going to have to make the other side basically be like, please do not exit on the side of the monorail. You are going to walk into a wall. All right, folks, but as far as music goes, I'm thinking we go back to the classics. We're going to hit some Diddy Kong racing music, and I like to be, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when I try to pick the songs, I'm picking stuff that kind of matches what we're working on, right? So I'm going to pick one of the, like, city songs from Diddy Kong Racing. I think those are fun, and there's not usually a time to pick it that makes sense, but what we're doing right now is very much building a city. So guys, sit back, kick back, and grab that snack as we get into the time lapse here for the maintenance section of the park. Enjoy. Welcome back, everybody, after the time lapse to the fully upgraded park maintenance area. I am very, very pleased with how this came out. It was a lot of work on the roads and working on the monorail station, of course. But come on, let's go take a stroll down the streets. Now, adding these streets has really made me want to look into getting the vehicle mod, or the add-on for the crate mod, to make little Jeeps and stuff like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. You know, Jeeps in Jurassic Park are kind of like a big part of the franchise. You know, they're iconic in their own way, and so I think we kind of need our own iconic little Jeep to drive through here. But yeah, I just went ahead and kind of brought it around here. I left some areas not very developed, like this area here. Instead of like putting trees and stuff, I just left it open because I feel like this is a perfect plot later to put a new building, right? Also over here, or we have to come back and build the building around the iron farm. I might like raise this place up, not really sure. So I just kind of put like a really big concrete wall on this side, which I think looks a little funny right now, but I think down the line it'll work out pretty well and look good. I also added some trees here to make this kind of like a little bit of a park, because I think once we get more buildings up and running, right, like more farm buildings like here and over in that gap over there and next to the, Al's old house, I want this area in the center to kind of feel like a park, right? A nice little plaza, if you will, entrance to our wood farm. And then I didn't show off every little angle during the time lapse, but I've gone through here and put bushes and leaves. I really like the large horsetails; they're pretty chill. And oh, I hear somebody. Yeah, leaves and flowers. We can also. I'm learning that there are dark areas that I have created that I need to go back and kind of fix. It's always what happens when you end up building. But let's hop on over here. I got a few lanterns up. I do want to come back and actually make like street lights of some sort. But I want to take my time on that and get a cool design, right? I also kind of need to know how large our Jeeps are gonna be, and hopefully the Jeeps, hopefully I can make them 3 wide. Otherwise, they're gonna take up the whole street. But yeah, come on up here. This is the new monorail station with access path over here to our warehouse, our food warehouse. But up in here is pretty chill. I like it. I wanted to make a smaller table, and I'm realizing that there's no table decor in the the interiors add-on that we have, the create interiors part of the mod that these chairs come from. No table, so maybe I'll look into more like decoration type things to add on. I don't mind adding create mod add-ons. I just want to kind of avoid adding like so many different types of mods, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Just added a few different leaves in here. Some of the stuff that you see all over the park, the horsetails, the zamites, and of course our tall palm sapling. And then I went and kind of snuck in a blackwood sapling here. I did add a few. I added a little bit of a forest. I felt like this just kind of needed a backdrop to like the whole area. In fact, if we hop in spectator here and hide the HUD, I just felt like it needed a little bit something. I didn't want to have a crazy forest back here, but I just wanted a few trees, right, to make it feel a little bit more lived in, a little bit more lively. This was a huge area here that I had to chop down in the time lapse. In fact, I showed you guys like full speed, like as I chopped this whole thing out. But yeah, I came back here and I really like how this came out. This is what I was talking about last video, where this building is very bland and honestly boring, right? It's very just flat. It's like a rectangle, and there's not too many angles and dimensions. But once you start adding in the bushes down there and the trees in the background and the windows, right? It is supposed to be a boring building, and I think adding stuff around it really makes it come alive. And so I'm much more happy with what this looks like now than it did at the end of last episode. Now, one thing I did have to also do, and I actually really like it, is you can see that there's no white lines down here. So I see this as like, this is the main street, right? And this right here, this is actually just a little alleyway. It's just a little side street. One way, if you will, or just unmarked. It's got, only one black border instead of two, so it's not as thick. And yeah, it's got no lines down the middle. And I actually really like that. Kind of makes a little alleyway, little maintenance road, if you will, in the whole maintenance area. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I am very pleased with this. It took quite a while. It took a lot of concrete, like a lot of concrete. But building our new machine downstairs has worked very, very well, and it has sped up the processing time of gathering resources tremendously. So I'm very, very pleased to have built this, and I've even been running it. It's actually empty now. I've been running it just for sand to go spend some more time over in the lab to try to get more stegosauruses. But unfortunately, guys, I'm just not getting the luck. Let me head on over there. Now, as I wait here for the monorail, I am realizing that, the park monorail you can see here, it's just arriving in the Jurassic Park section. I need to duplicate the monorail. We need two. I need another one. I want them to I want to time it so that they get to the stations pretty much at the same time, and there will be two going around, opposite of each other. And I'll probably just copy the exact design of that monorail. I do eventually want to make a monorail like train station warehouse where we can kind of store the trains, and I'll probably like make one just for aesthetics that looks like it's parked and maybe being worked on. And I either want to do that over here or honestly tagging it on over in this section, probably behind this wall, kind of in this area. Might be the go-to play for that. But that's down the line. Probably no rush on that. I want to get back to making more actual dinosaur parks over there. But yeah, let's go ahead and catch this, and I'll show you guys what fossils we got over in the lab. I also did add this right here, this polished cut diorite, to stop being able to get out. It does kind of break up the windows, but I think it's fine. I think it makes sense. It's a pillar to be like, hey man, you can't get out this way. But the vibe of taking the monorail has definitely changed now with all the roads and the big monorail station. The maintenance facility actually kind of feels like like a micro city in our valley. This very much feels like the wilderness with a lot of dinosaurs, and then you cross over here, and that's where all the resources get made. That's where the production happens. That's where all the employees go. Maybe we consider Al's place the old or the new employee house. But it has been very enjoyable being able to just hop in the monorail and go back and forth and actually have a station on both sides. It's very, very satisfying for me. But let me show you guys. So I've been running the fossil machine down there, and like I said, unfortunately, I'm not getting any stegosauruses. I just haven't gotten stegos. But if you take a look in here, here's all our Jurassic guys. So we've got plenty of Allosauruses. We've got 2 more Ceratos, and so we can actually hatch these right now. Might as well. We've got Ornies ready to go. We've got a bunch of Dilos, so I suppose I could hatch them as well. And then down here, our Cretaceous section is getting really stocked, so very, very happy about that. But the ones I'm missing, I need at least another Stego. I'm hoping to get a breeding pair of Stego so that they can just breed, as well as the Diplodocus. We do have 2 for the Sauropod exhibit that will be coming very, very soon. Might even be next episode. But there's also the Brachiosaurus, and so the Diplodocus and the Brachio are 2 sauropods, and I just don't have a Brachio yet. Okay, but let's go ahead and end this episode by hatching out a few more dinosaurs, which is gonna mean, guys, I'm gonna need a few more names, so get your name suggestions in the comments. The first one we gotta grab is another Diplodocus. Alright, how we doing, Coco and Nova? You guys still good? Coco's chilling. Where's Nova? Nova is over there, hanging out. Awesome. Alright, I feel like we gotta hatch this Dimorphodon on the spot that we always hatch our Dimorphodons. Now, the interesting thing about this is that if we get, I think they're both female. Yeah, Nova and Coco are female. So if we get a male in here, they will probably start breeding. We have a max population of 10, so it'll probably act like the Dryos, and all of a sudden we'll just have a ton of Dimorphodons in here, which does worry me a little bit about the meat. I gotta bring it in here manually, but of course, we've got the awesome automatic food farm now, so it's just it's there. I just still have to do the manual labor. Oh, I missed it. I legitimately missed the hatching. What happened? I looked away for half a second. Where is it? Where's the little guy? There it is. All right. Who are you? Oh my god, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. Is it possible to click on this guy? There we go. Hey, we did get a male. Okay, awesome. Well, guys, get your male Dimorphodon names in the comments and get a lot of them because I think just like the Dryos, next episode we'll probably have a full population in here of 10. So that's very exciting. But we'll move on from the Dimorphodons and head on over to give Bully some new friends. All right, Bully, how you doing today, bud? You chilling up there? Is he sleeping? Oh no, he's just got his head in the wall like he usually does. Still got food, that's good. Hopefully he doesn't aggressively attack me. He has hurt me in the past because he was a little hungry. But I think he's alright. 50 HP, how you doing, buddy? Doing good? Yeah, he's doing good. Alright, well, we have 2 new Ceratosauruses to join the crew. So let's go ahead and plop you down there, and we'll hatch you right here. Actually, one thing I do want to climb back up here to check is how many Ceratosauruses we can have. I know it's more than 3. 5. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Now, I am wondering with the carnivores, if they breed past 5, are they going to attack each other? That I'm not sure. One thing I'm not really going to be able to stop, honestly, is excess breeding. I mean, you guys have seen what's happening over in the Dryo exhibit. We just get dinos and dinos and dinos and dinos, and they're like rabbits, right? They just kind of go for it. The game says that, like the wiki says that, you know, if they're full and they're happy and they're of age, they will breed, but they won't if they search around them and find 5 or so, you know, Ceratosauruses. But the problem about that is, well, maybe Bully's the only one over here, right? And the other 4 are going to be over on the other side of the exhibit. That would mean that you know, there's only 1 over here, and so they would be able to breed, or 2 on the side, I guess, and 3 over there. So you end up, instead of there only being 5 in here, you end up with like 8 or so. I think that's what's happening with the Dryo, with the max population of 10 over there on the Dryos. It's 10, but it's 10 around it, and I don't know if that's a 1 chunk range, 2 chunk range. Like, I don't know the specifics of it, right? But as long as they don't like kill each other, which might happen with the Ceratosauruses, I don't know. We'll be all right. Oh, here we go. The first hatch of the Cerato. I would love to get a breeding pair. So Bully is a male. If one of these 2 is a female, that'd be very exciting. Hello, welcome to the world. It is a little female. Awesome. That's exciting. Okay, so we already have Bully. We got you a girlfriend. Look, she's waiting, ready for her friend. I think this one is taking a little bit longer to hatch because the torch was a little bit further than this torch, and the warmer the eggs are, the faster they hatch. There we go. That took a while. Look how many torches I had to add just to get that going. All right, welcome to the world, little one. You can be male or female. What? It's just... Huh? Did you need those? What? Okay, there it goes. It faked us out. It's like, I'm gonna hatch. It's like, second thought, you made it too cold. I don't want to. All right. I'll keep the torches for you until you hatch. There we go. All right, and you are another female. Ooh, we got 2 girlfriends. Her Bully. All right, awesome. So we've got a few more Ceratosauruses up and running. The last exhibit we need to go to is actually our first exhibit with our very first, well, not true first dinosaur. I was going to say our very first dinosaur, but that was our poor T-Rex Chomper, who really needs his own exhibit. We'll get there soon. I mean, very soon we're going to have to move him out of where he is because he is in the Allosaurus location. So we will be moving him fairly soon, but probably after working on the Sauropod exhibit, maybe the Compy exhibit. There's also the Orny that is here in the Jurassic section. But if we head on over here to our Dilophosaurus exhibits, we can give Venom some new friends. Now, we got a lot of Dilophosauruses, so this is really going to kick this exhibit into overdrive. Currently just one big happy Dilophosaurus, and we can have 7 in here. So let's head on up over here and make a little bit of a nesting area. Put them just around this torch here. And because the other one took forever, I'll just add a bunch of torches to speed this up. Oh, and then it rains on them. Oh, man, bummer. Now, while these guys are hatching, guys, I do want to show you a hopping spectator here. I did actually move our Phalosaurus. He was making a lot of noise. So I've kind of just found this little spot. It's this little hole in the ground, honestly. But I've come in here and kind of trapped him and kind of get him out of the way. I did end up naming him Frankenstein. So we've got a little bit of a name for him, but he's just down here for now in his little bit of a dungeon cell, so to speak. Literally just in this crevice. I just needed him somewhere. So I think eventually we will add like a cool Phalosaurus exhibit, and I think I'm gonna put it probably like way underground in like a dungeon under the lab. But it needs to be far enough that I don't hear his like, you know, zombie moaning all the time, because that was getting really annoying when I was just working in the lab. Oh, there we go. Look, Venom's sitting here watching. That's awesome. And we're gonna get all 4 at the same time. It's a hatching party. I think when they hatch, it's gonna be very hard to check all of their genders. Let's see, we've got a male, we've got a female. Oh, look at them all rush. We got 2 males, and I think that's 2 females. Yeah, look at that, 2 males, 2 females. Okay, so along with Venom, who is our matriarch, we've got 2 more females and 2 more males. That is awesome. All right, guys, you know what to do. Give me some awesome Dilophosaurus names in the comment section below. All right, folks, but with that, I think I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Let me know what you think about this brand new road system that we've got up and running. And let me know if you think I should add a little bit of some roads over in the Jurassic Park section. We do kind of just have, you know, normal dirt trails right now over there. But we could, if we really wanted to get fancy, could get some more paved roads over there. Or at least paved path. I don't think we need to have it big enough for a car to go by with, like, dotted lines like we have here. Yeah, and then let me know what you think of the new monorail station. I personally really love it. It really brings a good vibe here in the maintenance section. And finally, give me all those names for all those brand new dinosaurs. I'm very excited to name them all come next episode. Next episode, we will probably be working on the Sauropod exhibit. No promises, but I do think that's what I want to work on. Even if we don't have the Brachiosaurus, we can get some Diplodocuses up and running. So that's very excited. And then we can finally actually live with the Sauropod Squad. All right, folks, but that is going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And just like this monorail, peace out.